good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Wild Card. My name is Khalil Stewart, one half of the Wild Card. Khalil with a K, Kendall with a K, and I'm here today. So I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Wild Card. This specific episode, we want to talk about the top 5 quarterbacks going into next football season in the SWAC. And you can see my TV in the back. I gotta turn it off. I had the NCAA going, so I just want to give y'all an insight. Now I'm working on my office over there. Just moving to my apartment, so cutting me some slack. It's a whole lot different setup. So give me some time. Bear with me. By this time next week, I should have my office fully set up. So we're gonna go with that. Anyhow, let's get back to business. Top 5 quarterbacks going into this SWAC season coming up. And I think there's no better person to start off with than, you can see my keychain. You see, it says, ignore the Lakers stuff right now. I know my Lakers are bad. But you see, the Swarm is one. Look at that. Swarm as one. Another way. ASU Swarm is one. That being said, number 1 quarterback going into next season is none other than Andrew Body. It's one of my neighbors, actually. Just throw that in there. But no, seriously, Andrew Body is my number 1 quarterback going into the next season. He's the most experienced quarterback coming back into the SWAC this year. It's between him and Miles Carley, but Andrew has more starting experience. He's played longer. He is healthy this year, which is a big thing. I think one of the things that helped him out last year was sitting out, getting his body fully healthy. He sat out a full season at Texas Southern. So it really gave him an opportunity to get healthy, and ultimately, I think this was a great offseason for him. And I think from the conversations I had with him, from what I've heard from him in SWAC media, that he's ready. He is locked in and ready to go. He hasn't played football in a long time, as far as in a competitive aspect, in a real live game, all that kind of stuff. He hasn't played since, I want to say, maybe last August, late August. So it's going to be good for him to get out there, get a couple reps in, and, I'm excited to see what he can do in this new offense with Coach Chris Barnett here with Alabama State, with the defense he has behind him now, with Rico Dozier, Stephon Youngroll, Cam Gordon, James Bird, just to name a few of the names. This is going to be a great year for him and a great year for that Alabama State football team that I love so dearly, that some of you out there love so dearly. We're excited to see what's going to happen with them. Next up, I want to talk about JSU, which you all know that Kendall's a part of now. And I'm not just saying this because of the fact that this is an ASU and JSU kind of podcast. A little bit, not too much. That's not our main focus. But Jacobian Morgan is my number 2 quarterback to watch out for this season that I'm excited to see. Dual threat quarterback, probably the biggest quarterback in the conference right now. Give or take, I guess. I don't know the backups, but I had to research that. I think Jacobian Morgan is due for a big season. He finished out last season pretty strong. I want to say that Jacobian finished with 10 touchdowns and 1 interception to close out his closeout last season when he became the starter over Jason Brown. It is a big year coming up for Jacobian Morgan. This is a full off season, and with the TC Taylor offense, this is a big year for JSU football in general. Now you have TC has 1 full season of coaching, being a head coach, being a leader to him, and now there's opportunity for him to really put his imprint on this team. I'm excited to see what happens with that. Jacobian is the guy who had a big game last year against UAPB, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception, and he's a guy that he's a willing passer as far as he'll give you the 30 attempt games, but he's dangerous with his legs because of his size. A lot of people call him the SWAC's version of Cam Newton. Me being a Cam Newton fan, I'm not going to go that far because I don't think there's many players that are Cam Newton. I will go Jalen Hurts per se because he's a dual threat guy who I think he runs with more physicality than many of the quarterbacks in the conference, and that's going to separate him. He's running to contact. He's not running away from it. So we'll see what happens there. My next quarterback to watch out for is none other than Miles Carley, former Hornet, now Grambling State quarterback. I think he's due for a big year. You saw he started out last season pretty strong. with some games, with some wins against Hampton. He's the preseason SWAC Player of the Year. He also has, much like Andrew Body, has a lot of experience. This will be his second full year starting, his final season starting. And I'm excited to see what he's capable of because we know Miles has the size, he has the intangibles, he has the mindset, he has a great demeanor. Didn't finish out the season particularly strong last year, but then we understand things happen, injuries happen. But hey, that's part of the game. I think that Miles is due for a big season. I think that he could live up to that hype and be the SWAC Player of the Year. And I think he has the potential to lead the Grambling State Tigers to a SWAC championship. I really do believe that he has that type of skill set, and you can't help but think that he's done anything but get better since last season. Like I said, things didn't end the way that he wanted to end, obviously, but I think that Grambling has the tools. They're under new head coaching. I think that I think that Miles is probably going to be the most comfortable he's ever been. He's securing his spot as a starting quarterback. And being the preseason offensive player of the year is it's nothing to slouch at. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited for what Miles could do for this program, and I think that Grambling State fans should be excited as well. Now, number 4, this pick may shock you. I'm going to go. Let me make sure I'm pronouncing his name right. It's Junior Meritovich. Now, the reason I say him is because, to be honest with you, I don't necessarily know if he's going to be the starter. Right. Fam, you brought in a lot of transfer guys this year, a lot of different guys that we could potentially see on day one. But Junior is the most experienced in this system, the most experienced at FAMU. He's been with the receiving core. He's been in this offense system. He is the guy that I'm willing to say will probably be the starter come opening day in the MEAC SWAC Challenge. I think he has the skills. He has the size, 6'3", big body guy. I really am looking at guys at quarterback this year who are experienced. I think that experience is going to be the key to whoever wins the SWAC championship this year. That's why one of the reasons why I believe that my school, Alabama State, was picked to win the SWAC, be the number one team in the SWAC in the East. Jackson State, FAMU is the top 3, rounding the top 3 up. They have a lot of those are the 3 most experienced teams coming back. Coach Robinson has an experienced defense coming back. Obviously, a couple holes to fill, but who doesn't have holes to fill after a season of losing a guy like Bubba Adams and Mikey Victor? I'm excited to see what they do this year. But back to the point, I think FAMU has the opportunity to do something great. People are counting out the champion. You can never count out the champion. I truly believe to be the man, you got to beat the man. I think that people are doubting them a lot, and I think they're going to shock a lot of people. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a season where FAMU is repeating as champions. They still have that great defense behind them. They have experience. They still have some guys returning back offensively from that championship team. So I'm excited to see what happens. That being said, my final quarterback, and I'm just doing 5 because I'm not sure what every team is going to do at the quarterback position. As a Hornet, I hate saying this, but Alabama A&M is Xavier Langford. Xavier Langford is a guy who he's been around for a minute, dual threat guy. I don't think he's ever got the opportunity to just be the for sure starter at A&M under Coach Maynard's system, but he's another guy who has the most experience. He's a guy who understands the offense. He understands what Coach Maynard wants from him at this point. I think he's a great leader, and those are all great intangibles to be a great quarterback. Now, I'm not sure exactly what A&M is bringing back on the offensive side of the ball, nor the defensive side of the ball, but I do believe that that Xavier Langford will put them in the best position to win ball games. I truly believe that. I'm excited for him. Me and him went to camp together back in like 7th grade, and he threw me a couple touchdowns in 7th grade. But all seriousness, I think Xavier Langford is due for a big season. Big dual threat guy. Has a lot of upside when he's on. We've seen flashes from him here and there. We've seen what he's capable of doing. But it's about consistency. Can you be consistent? And I truly think that's not just a test. That's not just something that he has to work on. That's something that all the quarterbacks have to work on. Even the guys I've mentioned in this top 5. Who can be the most consistent quarterback on a week-to-week basis? That's something that we need to see from Andrew Body, Jacobian Morgan, Miles Carley, Junior Meritovich, and Xavier Langford. We need them to be consistent. Whoever is the most consistent is going to win the SWAC championship. They're going to put their team in the best position to win games. And I just strongly believe that Andrew Body is going to be not only the most consistent, but I believe he's going to be the best because this is the best. He's healthy. He's going to be available. And I think this is the most talented team he's played on since being in college. So I'm excited to see what happens this year. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the next episode. I don't know when we're going to go live again, but we will be dropping some content here and there. So thank you guys for tuning in this episode. See you next time.